Okay, welcome back. A dragon lives forever, but not so, little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. Lyrics from the song Puff the Magic Dragon. Some people will try to say it's about drugs. No, it's about growing up. It's about learning to be who you're going to be. A lot of parents with kids nowadays don't want them to grow up. And I feel this is only probably half the equation, not the full equation, because there's things going in public schools that we don't like either that we're pushing back on. But yeah, you have to let your kids grow up. You can't rob them of their innocence, rob them of what they are, and use your own kids to prance them around as your personal avatar or your personal virtual signal of what you believe that you're forcing your kids on. That's what I see a lot. And I think it's very dangerous. Very dangerous. In the very young, our youth are, especially when you're younger and you go to movies and you see things on the big screen, it's just immersive. Whether it was yesterday's technology or today's technology, which is even better. When I was a kid, I can barely remember seeing a certain movie and I had changed my name. And for weeks, my mom did not know I had done this because I was going by this movie name from a cartoon character that I was idolizing at the time. And my mom back then, okay, we're talking the 70s here, to show you my age. And I didn't come out. She drove up. I did not walk out of the daycare on my own because I saw her car. That's how it was back then. And when I did not come out, she had to go inside and get me. She's like, what's going on? It was out of the norm. And I was, well, let's put it from this perspective. She goes in, sees the ladies. She's like, where's my son? He didn't walk out. It's time for me to pick him up. He should have seen my car. They're like, oh, well, what's his name? She said Elliot. And they're like, I'm sorry. She said my real name. And I'll just say Zach. It's not Zach, but that's what I almost was named. And she said, Zach. And they're like, who? And they're like, yeah, Zach. And they're like, well, wait a minute. And they almost had a confrontation. They said, come here. Is this his classroom? Yeah. Well, where is he? Well, he's right there. Oh, well, that's Elliot. She was not happy with me, to say the least. I don't remember any of this. If any, very, 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 very vaguely. Because I did idolize the green magic dragon from Pete's Dragon, who was named Elliot, who could fly with little tiny pink wings, who could also turn invisible, had all sorts of neat powers, and was drawn by Don Bluth at the time, when he was working at Disney. And I just fell in love with the movie and the character and everything, and so I wanted to be Elliot, and so I went by the name Elliot. My mom didn't know, and I may have gotten in trouble. I can't remember. I may have been disciplined or sent in my room or told to do something, told not to. I don't remember. It was so long ago. I was probably 5 or 6 years old or something. Probably 5 years old. And since I was in a daycare at a church. But things can affect you. Things can make you idolize something temporarily. It's not permanent. I remember, I've got Puppet on here. Going into a movie, even as a teenager, And in coming out of a theater as a teenager, feeling big, muscular, and as if I was something I wasn't, because I just watched the original and very first and very dark Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. And I really thought, I didn't think I was a turtle at 17 years old or whatever, however old I was then. But, I was walking out like one of those actors wearing that suit. Movies can have influence. Movies, and especially stuff on the big screen, can have very big, I won't say idol worship, but a form of it. And we had the Muppet Show way back when I was like 9 to 12 years old, and we really watched the Muppet Show. And sometimes my friend and I, we would kind of use our hands kind of like, this, as if they were on sticks, because we, we're mimicking Muppetry as if we were a Muppet. No, of course we're not. But, mimicry is the highest form of flattery. And that's what we were kind of doing. We were not we're making fun of it, while at the same time having fun, and just doing things that we liked, that we saw on TV and movies. And, whether you come out of a movie with seeing something with gender bending crap, kids are going to want to do this too. This is very dangerous, because the surgeries are so dangerous, because the effects of the surgeries are so dangerous, and trying to steal kids' puberty away from them is dangerous. Have you not seen the memes where, a girl goes into a store and wanting to buy cigarettes? Oh no, you're too young. Well, can I get my driver's license? No, you're too young. Can I buy a beer? No, you're too young. And then she's like, can I get it? Change my sex? And the guy on the other side of the counter is, well, yes. What would you like? It's insane. It's insane. Don't allow your shallow parents to parade you around like a Facebook avatar, or some sort of type of living emoji or living virtual signal, for their own gain. Because I'm seeing that to some extent. I'm also seeing a lot where, the schools are doing it behind parents' backs. So we're seeing both sides of this, and it's dangerous. It's not good. Don't be afraid to be you. And I don't mean changing what you are, following in line with other people on TikTok, because again, things we see affect us. Things we idolize affect us. Think about that. If you didn't see a lot of this crap, would you still want to be something you're not? Be you. Be yourself. That means don't color your hair like you're some sort of going to an anime con that never ended. Don't dress in a certain way just because other people do the same thing. If your friends are gonna jump off a cliff, you don't want to do that too. If your friends are wanting to hurt themselves, you don't want to do that. In wrapping this up and tying this back in with Puff the Magic Dragon, your kids don't want you to. Most parents don't want their kids, their little babies, to grow up. But we're going to have to grow up. We're going to have to say no to fantasy, no to playing pretend. There's a time for that when you grow up and have your own kids, as long as you haven't taken that ability away from yourself or let someone else mold you into that lifestyle. Because the pretend play comes back again when you have your own kids. But if you're taking that ability away, there's nothing good in that. A dragon lives forever. Not so, little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One night it happened. Jackie Paper came no more. A little deep. This isn't as shallow as you think it is. Because wanting to be something else, wanting to look a certain way for the sake of perception can be a little shallow. Go deeper. Find who you really are. Don't change yourself. Groom yourself to look good. Don't groom yourself to try to be someone you're idolizing. We'll see you next time. God bless anyone that watches this video.